In the dim glow of a moonlit room, Sarah lay paralyzed, eyes wide open, unable to move. For the third consecutive night, she awoke to the same unnerving presence. At the foot of her bed stood a figure, darker than the surrounding shadows, its form indistinct, yet undeniably human. Her heart raced as the entity seemed to watch her, its intentions unreadable. Then, as abruptly as it had appeared, the figure dissolved into the air, leaving Sarah breathless and questioning her sanity. Sarah's experience is far from unique. Across cultures and centuries, similar accounts persist. Individuals confronted by shadowy apparitions that defy explanation. These encounters often occur in the stillness of the night, leaving an indelible mark on those who witness them. What is it about these shadowy figures that transcends time and geography? Are they mere products of the human mind, or something far more elusive and profound? As we delve deeper into the mystery of shadow people, the question persists. Why do so many, from diverse backgrounds, report eerily similar experiences? The answer may lie at the intersection of folklore, psychology, and the paranormal, challenging our very understanding of reality. Shadow people are far from a contemporary myth. Across the ages, cultures have consistently reported encounters with these elusive, shadowy figures. Ancient Egyptian texts refer to the kaibit, a shadow self, seen as a spirit or reflection of one's soul. In Native American lore, the Choctaw speak of Nalusa Cheeto, a shadowy creature linked to death and misfortune. Despite the vast distances and time periods separating these narratives, they share a common thread, an acknowledgement of shadowy entities existing at the edges of human perception. In medieval Europe, the concept of shadowy beings took on a more ominous tone. The night hag was believed to be a malevolent entity that would sit upon the chests of sleepers, inducing nightmares and paralysis. While this notion might have evolved into what we now recognize as sleep paralysis, the vivid descriptions of dark, indistinct figures continue to haunt collective memory. These tales, passed down through generations, suggest a persistent cultural recognition of shadowy presences that defy rational explanation. The 20th century witnessed a renewed fascination with shadow people, particularly in the West. During the 1960s and 70s, amid growing interest in the paranormal, reports of shadowy figures began to surface more frequently. Television shows and books on the paranormal introduced these entities to wider audiences, often portraying them as malevolent spirits or interdimensional beings. Despite the sensationalism, the core experience remained unchanged. Encounters with silhouettes darker than the night, silently watching from the shadows. Some researchers suggest these stories arise from shared psychological experiences. Pareidolia, the tendency to perceive familiar patterns in random stimuli, might explain why so many people see faces or figures in darkness. Furthermore, the hypnagogic state, the transitional phase between wakefulness and sleep, can produce vivid hallucinations, potentially accounting for some shadowy encounters. However, this explanation struggles to account for the consistency and cultural ubiquity of these reports. In recent years, the Internet has become a vast repository for personal accounts of shadow people encounters. Online forums and social media platforms are filled with stories from individuals claiming to have seen these mysterious figures. These testimonies often share striking similarities, describing the same feelings of dread and paralysis, the same dark, humanoid forms. The digital age has facilitated a global exchange of experiences, revealing just how widespread and deeply rooted this phenomenon remains. Despite advances in science and technology, shadow people continue to challenge our understanding. Are these figures mere reflections of cultural fears, psychological mirages, or something beyond our current comprehension? The enduring presence of shadow people in both folklore and modern accounts suggests they occupy a unique space in the human psyche, a space bridging the seen and unseen, the known and unknown. As we delve deeper into this enigmatic phenomenon, we must entertain the possibility that shadow people represent more than figments of imagination. They may offer insights into the mysteries of consciousness and the boundaries of reality, urging us to question what lies beyond the veil of our perception. In the early 1980s, a case emerged from a small town in West Virginia that would profoundly deepen the mystery surrounding shadow people. It involved a family, 2 parents, and their teenage daughter, whose unsettling experiences would become one of the most compelling early documented encounters, challenging our understanding of reality itself. Shortly after moving into their new home, the family began witnessing inexplicable phenomena. It started with fleeting glimpses of shadowy forms darting across hallways, always just at the periphery of their vision. But soon, these shadows became bolder, manifesting fully and lingering longer, as if observing the family. The most chilling incident occurred one winter night. The daughter, Emma, awoke with an overwhelming sense of being watched. Turning, she saw a tall, shadowy figure standing at the foot of her bed. Unlike previous encounters, this figure did not vanish immediately. Instead, it leaned forward, its presence almost palpable, radiating an aura of cold and dread. Emma's scream shattered the silence, bringing her parents rushing into the room. By then, the figure had dissolved into the darkness. Initially skeptical of the paranormal, the family sought logical explanations. They consulted local historians and learned that their home was near the site of a tragic 19th-century mining accident, which claimed many lives. Some believed the shadows were the restless spirits of those lost in the disaster, forever tied to the land. However, this theory only added complexity, as the shadowy figures did not resemble traditional ghostly apparitions. They lacked the distinct features or details often described in ghost sightings, remaining instead as vague, human-like silhouettes. To unravel the mystery, the family invited a team of paranormal investigators to document their experiences. Equipped with cameras and recording devices, the investigators sought to capture evidence of the shadowy visitors. Over several nights, they recorded unexplained fluctuations in electromagnetic fields and captured photographs of strange, dark shapes that defied logical explanation. These findings, while intriguing, offered no definitive proof, leaving the phenomenon enshrouded in ambiguity. The case attracted the interest of psychologists, who suggested that the family's encounters might be the result of shared hallucinations or heightened suggestibility, perhaps due to the stress of moving to a new home. Yet, this explanation failed to account for the physical evidence recorded by the investigators or the consistency of the family's experiences. Theories of mass hysteria or psychological projection fell short of explaining the tangible dread and the seemingly intelligent behavior of the shadows. As news of the case spread, it ignited public interest and debate. Skeptics dismissed the events as mere coincidence or fabrication, while believers saw them as a rare glimpse into another dimension or reality. The case became a focal point for discussions about the nature of shadow people, challenging the boundaries between folklore, psychology, and the paranormal. This early documented case fundamentally challenges our understanding of reality. It suggests that shadow people might not be confined to the realm of myth, but could represent an intersection of unseen worlds and human perception. Such encounters compel us to reconsider the limits of our understanding and the possibility of dimensions beyond our own, inhabited by entities that elude conventional categorization. The West Virginia case remains a pivotal moment in the study of shadow people, urging both skeptics and believers to look beyond traditional explanations. It serves as a reminder that some mysteries persist despite our best efforts to illuminate them, existing in the shadows where science and superstition meet. The family's experience, while unsettling, invites us to explore the unknown with an open mind, as we continue to seek answers to the enduring enigma of shadow people. In the labyrinthine narratives surrounding shadow people, a persistent question emerges. Who benefits from maintaining the enigma of these shadowy figures? The answer leads us into the domains of media, academia, and even governmental agencies, where control over paranormal narratives is wielded with strategic intent. Media outlets have long capitalized on the public's fascination with the unexplained. Television shows, documentaries, and books often frame encounters with shadow people as malevolent or otherworldly, a portrayal that serves dual purposes. It captivates audiences, driving viewership and sales, while also keeping the phenomenon confined to the realm of entertainment rather than serious inquiry. The media's role in shaping public perception is profound, crafting the lens through which these mysterious entities are viewed. Academia, meanwhile, plays a pivotal role in the discourse, often marked by skepticism. Mainstream science frequently attributes reports of shadow people to psychological phenomena, like sleep paralysis, hallucinations, or cognitive biases. While these explanations hold validity, they are often presented as conclusive, leaving scant room for alternative interpretations. This scientific gatekeeping, driven by a commitment to empirical rigor, inadvertently marginalizes experiences that defy conventional understanding, setting the boundaries of what is deemed credible within the scientific community. Governmental agencies, though less overtly involved, have historically shown interest in the paranormal. Declassified documents reveal investigations into unexplained phenomena, suggesting a latent interest in understanding or perhaps controlling these narratives. The motives behind such interest remain opaque, shrouded in secrecy and speculation, fueling theories of deliberate suppression or manipulation of information. Paranormal researchers and enthusiasts occupy a unique position. Often dismissed by mainstream science, they persist in their quest to document and understand shadow people, driven by a genuine desire to uncover the truth. These individuals, from amateur ghost hunters to seasoned investigators, challenge dominant narratives by presenting evidence and testimonies that defy easy explanation. Their work, though often sidelined, provides a counterpoint to the skepticism of academia and the sensationalism of media. At the core of this intricate web lies the question: why do certain groups have a vested interest in controlling the narrative around shadow people? The answer may lie in the broader implications of acknowledging such phenomena. Accepting the existence of shadow people as more than psychological artifacts could challenge our understanding of reality, potentially opening doors to profound metaphysical questions about consciousness, dimensions, and the nature of existence itself. The control exerted over the shadow people narrative reflects a broader struggle between skepticism and belief, between empirical evidence and experiential testimony. It highlights the tension between a desire for certainty and the allure of mystery, a dance that unfolds in the shadows of human understanding. As we navigate this enigmatic phenomenon, we must remain aware of the forces shaping our perceptions, questioning whose interests are served by maintaining the status quo and whose voices are silenced in the process. The institutions and individuals influencing the discourse on shadow people wield significant power, shaping the stories we tell and the beliefs we hold. Yet, this very control invites scrutiny, urging us to look beyond the surface and question the narratives we accept. In this exploration, we are reminded of the importance of keeping an open mind, allowing room for the unknown, as we continue our search for answers in the shadowy depths of human experience. In the dimly lit corridors of institutional authority, the phenomenon of shadow people has been met with a blend of intrigue and dismissal. Despite the widespread accounts and rich historical narratives, mainstream acceptance remains elusive. This isn't solely due to scientific skepticism or cultural indifference. It's also the result of deliberate mechanisms designed to suppress and contain discussions about shadow people, keeping them on the periphery of credible discourse. One primary method of containment is narrative control. Media often sensationalizes encounters with shadow people, portraying them as either terrifying or ridiculous. This portrayal trivializes the phenomenon, ensuring it stays within the realm of entertainment rather than serious study. By casting shadow people as mere plot devices in horror films or paranormal shows, the media effectively stifles genuine inquiry, relegating these entities to the shadows of credibility. Academic institutions also play a role in this suppression. The scientific community, bound by empirical evidence, frequently dismisses reports of shadow people as hallucinations or psychological disturbances. Peer-reviewed journals seldom publish studies on such topics, and those that do often face criticism for lacking scientific rigor. This environment dissuades researchers from exploring unconventional topics, fearing professional ridicule or marginalization. Government agencies, typically silent on the matter, have historically shown interest in phenomena that defy conventional explanation. Declassified documents from the mid-20th century reveal that some government bodies conducted secret investigations into paranormal occurrences, including sightings of unexplained entities. While the specifics of these inquiries remain classified, their existence suggests an awareness and perhaps a desire to control the flow of information regarding unexplained phenomena. Archive restriction serves as another tool of containment. Historical records and first-hand accounts of shadow people encounters are often buried in obscure collections, accessible only to those with specific credentials. This compartmentalization ensures that only a select few have access to potentially paradigm-shifting evidence, keeping the broader public in the dark. Intimidation, though less documented, is a whispered reality among those who delve too deeply into the paranormal. Researchers and witnesses who speak out sometimes report being discredited or harassed, their reputations tarnished by those seeking to maintain the status quo. This culture of fear discourages open discussion and silences voices that might otherwise contribute valuable insights into the phenomenon. Doctrinal filtering further ensures that discussions around shadow people conform to established narratives. Within religious and spiritual communities, encounters are often interpreted through existing belief systems, categorized as demonic, angelic, or spiritual manifestations. While these interpretations offer solace to some, they also constrain the phenomenon within predefined boundaries, limiting the scope of investigation. As we peel back the layers of suppression surrounding shadow people, it becomes clear that the mechanisms at play are multifaceted and deeply embedded in societal structures. These methods of containment reflect a broader reluctance to confront the unknown, a hesitation to acknowledge phenomena that challenge our understanding of reality. Yet despite these efforts, the accounts of shadow people persist, whispered in the dark corners of forums, recounted in hushed tones by witnesses, and recorded in the annals of history. This quiet resistance against suppression invites us to question the narratives we accept and the structures that uphold them. It beckons us to consider the possibility that shadow people, whether psychological, cultural, or paranormal, hold truths that remain just beyond our current grasp. In the shadows, where light and darkness converge, lies the potential for new understanding, a possibility that continues to elude containment and demands our attention. Emma's encounter with a shadow person was far from an anomaly. Around the globe, countless individuals recount eerily similar experiences, their testimonies weaving a tapestry of fear and curiosity that defies simple explanation. These accounts, diverse in origin yet strikingly uniform in description, offer a glimpse into the unsettling realm of shadow people, a realm that dances on the edge of reality and the unknown. Consider Marcus, a construction worker from rural Illinois. One night, after a grueling shift, he returned home to an inexplicable chill that seemed to seep from the walls. As he lay in bed, teetering on the brink of sleep, a sudden pressure gripped his chest. Struggling for breath, Marcus opened his eyes to a shadowy figure looming above him, its form indistinct yet undeniably present. Despite his desperate attempts to move or cry out, he remained paralyzed, trapped in a silent scream until the figure dissolved into the darkness. His terrifying ordeal is echoed by many who have confronted these enigmatic entities. Then there's Anya, a university student in Moscow. Her encounters began during a particularly stressful exam period. Late at night, as she studied in her dimly lit dorm room, a shadow flickered at the edge of her vision. Initially dismissing it as a trick of the light, she soon realized the figure was real, observing her with unsettling intensity. Anya's experiences culminated in a vivid encounter where the shadow stood directly before her, its presence suffused with an overwhelming dread. She later learned that such encounters were more common than she had imagined, reported by students across the campus. In Australia, retired schoolteacher Helen recounted her lifelong experiences with shadow people. For her, these figures appeared during moments of personal crisis, as if drawn to her emotional turmoil. Helen described them as tall and featureless, their presence both menacing and oddly comforting, like silent witnesses to her struggles. Despite their intimidating appearance, she never felt threatened, perceiving their visits as a peculiar form of companionship. These first-hand accounts resonate with a broader pattern observed by paranormal researchers. The consistency in descriptions, featureless figures, a sense of being watched, and accompanying paralysis or fear suggests a phenomenon that transcends cultural and geographical boundaries. This raises profound questions. Are these encounters manifestations of collective human consciousness, psychological phenomena induced by stress or fatigue? Or do they represent entities existing at the fringes of perception, glimpses into realms beyond our understanding? Psychologists have long debated these experiences, often attributing them to sleep disorders or heightened suggestibility. Yet such explanations fail to account for the profound emotional impact these encounters leave on witnesses. For many, the experience leaves an indelible mark, reshaping their understanding of reality and challenging conventional beliefs about existence. Paranormal researchers continue to document these testimonies, driven by a desire to explore mysteries that mainstream science often overlooks. Their work, though met with skepticism, provides a valuable repository of experiences that defy easy categorization. Through interviews and investigations, they aim to piece together the puzzle of shadow people, seeking patterns and insights that might one day offer a clearer understanding of these enigmatic figures. The stories of Emma, Marcus, Anya, and Helen, among countless others, underscore the deeply human element of the shadow people phenomenon. These encounters, while unsettling, urge us to explore the boundaries of perception and reality, inviting us to consider that the world is far more complex and mysterious than we dare imagine. In the shadows where these figures dwell lies a profound enigma, one that continues to captivate and confound, beckoning us toward a deeper understanding of the unknown. In the dim recesses of a Northern European archive, a forgotten collection of documents has emerged, challenging the prevailing narrative about shadow people. Unearthed from the depths of a university library, these papers contain accounts that defy conventional explanations, hinting at a more intricate reality. Central to this discovery are the detailed field notes from an obscure anthropological expedition in the early 20th century. This expedition ventured into remote Carpathian mountain villages to study folklore. The notes recount encounters with entities strikingly similar to modern-day reports of shadow people. Villagers described shadowy figures appearing at night, often during times of emotional turmoil or illness, gliding silently through homes and leaving behind an unsettling aura. These accounts stand out for their specificity. The villagers referred to these figures as guardians of the threshold, entities that straddle the boundary between the living world and the unknown. Unlike contemporary views that often cast shadow people as malevolent, these narratives suggest a more ambivalent role, part protector, part predator. The anthropologists documented rituals intended to appease these entities, indicating a cultural recognition of their existence and sway. Accompanying the field notes are sketches of these shadowy beings. The drawings depict tall, featureless forms with elongated limbs, eerily mirroring descriptions from modern witnesses. This consistency, spanning decades and continents, raises profound questions. Are these figures a shared psychological archetype, or do they hint at a universal phenomenon that transcends time and culture? One document in the collection is particularly compelling. A handwritten letter from a reclusive scientist in the 1960s, addressed to a parapsychology colleague. The letter details clandestine experiments probing the limits of human perception and consciousness. The scientist describes using sensory deprivation to induce altered states, during which participants reported interactions with shadowy figures. These experiences, the letter suggests, were not mere hallucinations, but encounters with entities from a parallel dimension or alternate reality. This letter hints at a deeper understanding of shadow people, proposing they might be interdimensional travelers or projections from the collective unconscious. Though controversial, this theory aligns with some quantum physics hypotheses about reality's nature. The notion that shadow people could be glimpses into other dimensions challenges our understanding of existence, suggesting a multiverse where these figures are as real as we are. These newly uncovered documents provide tangible evidence that questions the dominant interpretations of shadow people. They suggest a phenomenon rooted in both historical context and scientific inquiry, extending beyond mere psychological explanations. The possibility that shadowy figures could be interdimensional visitors or cultural manifestations forces us to reconsider the boundaries of reality and perception. The discovery of these artifacts invites us to question official narratives and entertain the possibility that shadow people exist at the intersection of science, culture, and the paranormal. They beckon us to explore the mysteries of consciousness and the unknown, urging us to look beyond the shadows into the depths of human experience. In this enigmatic realm where light and dark converge, lies the potential for new understanding, a possibility that continues to defy containment and demands our attention. In the hushed embrace of night, when darkness envelops the world, the phenomenon of shadow people remains a profound enigma. As we draw our investigation to a close, one question lingers. Why do these figures continue to evade definitive understanding, yet remain vividly real for those who encounter them? Despite extensive inquiry, the mystery of shadow people persists, a testament to the complexities of human perception and the mysteries that lie beyond our grasp. The accounts are too numerous, too consistent to be dismissed as mere coincidence or mass hysteria. They span cultures and epochs, suggesting a shared experience that transcends individual imagination. But what does this imply about our understanding of reality? Some researchers propose that these shadowy figures are manifestations of the collective unconscious, archetypes emerging from the depths of our shared psyche. This aligns with psychological theories, suggesting these experiences are projections of internal fears or unresolved conflicts. Yet, this interpretation falters when faced with the tangible, often terrifying presence that witnesses describe, an undeniable reality that leaves a lasting impact. Others venture a more radical hypothesis, that shadow people might be interdimensional entities, glimpses into parallel realities, occasionally intersecting with our own. While speculative, this theory finds some support in interpretations of quantum mechanics, which propose the existence of multiple dimensions beyond our perceptual reach. Could these figures be travelers between worlds, their visits fleeting yet profoundly unsettling? Cultural narratives further shape our understanding of shadow people. In some traditions, they are protective spirits or guardians. In others, ominous harbingers of doom. These interpretations, deeply rooted in folklore, offer comfort or caution, but also constrain the phenomenon within specific frameworks, limiting broader understanding. The narratives surrounding shadow people are further complicated by societal mechanisms that suppress open discussion. Academic skepticism, media sensationalism, and institutional control contribute to a climate where serious inquiry is stifled. This reluctance to engage with the unknown perpetuates the mystery, ensuring that shadow people remain at the fringes of credible discourse. Yet, despite these barriers, the persistence of shadow people sightings demands our attention. Their very existence challenges our understanding of consciousness, perception, and the nature of reality itself. In confronting this mystery, we are invited to expand our worldview, to consider possibilities beyond the visible spectrum of experience. Standing at the threshold of the known and the unknown, the question of shadow people remains tantalizingly unresolved. Are they figments of imagination, echoes of a shared human experience, or visitors from realms unseen? The answer eludes us, shrouded in shadow, yet it is precisely this enigma that beckons us to continue exploring, to seek understanding where light and dark converge. In this pursuit, we are reminded of the importance of maintaining an open mind, embracing mysteries that defy easy explanation. Shadow people, whether psychological, cultural, or paranormal, challenge us to look beyond the surface, to explore the depths of human experience and the boundaries of perception. In doing so, we may yet uncover truths that illuminate the shadowy paths of the unknown, guiding us toward new horizons of understanding. This concludes the episode. This has been Paranormal Files. Follow the show for new episodes.